Now, the news. And a couple of weeks ago, on the way back from the show, going along the A3, I was held up for an hour and a half by an accident. When I eventually got to the front of the queue, expecting a scene of devastation, I found a Fiat 500 with the bumper hanging off at one end, two of the three lanes closed, and then just a load of people in uniform sort of milling about.
These people in uniform, James, let me guess, were they by any chance highway agency traffic enforcement officers?
Yes.
I knew they would be. Now, we've spoken about these people before, and I think we should speak about them again, because they were employed by the Highways Agency to keep the roads open. And all they ever do is shut them. Yeah. As soon as they get their first job, right, let's close the road. Dislodge door mirror, close the road. Child a bit car sick, close the road. Someone says they've got whiplash, close the road. Serious injury. Whiplash, by the way, is not a serious injury, it's insurance fraud. That is and that's all they do, and they've got to be stopped.
I think they should only be allowed to close the road if certain words are being used to describe the incident. Inferno, crater, apocalyptic.
Felt
Yes.
Can't find the head.
yes. Traffic says that on the traffic report. Can't find the head. Then you can think about closing the road, but even so, you still have to ring somebody for permission, and I'm afraid that somebody has to be me. I basically never give them permission, and I would remind them that their job is to clear up litter.
Yes.
They are, as you once described, they're basically wombles.
Yes. It's a lovely job, and they should appreciate what they've got. It's fun. They can work underground or overground.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could make good use of the things that they find.
Yes, they could.
I mean, things that everyday folk just leave behind.
What's about you? I think we should dress them up like actual wombles.
Wow.
Go see a womble by the side of the road. I wouldn't mind being stopped by a womble, and it would be for your own safety, because nobody would want to run over a womble, would they? You'd be careful.
You're heartbroken.
They wouldn't need high vis.
Now, the Royal Mail, as we know, often issues commemorative stamps. You know, they pick on a subject like woodpeckers or hats or diseases.
Diseases?
Anyway, they've decided to do a range of stamps based on classic British motoring cars. And I've got some of the ones they've done for you here. There's the Lotus Esprit. This isn't the actual size of the stamp, by the way. This is a mock-up.
I see.
But anyway, they've got the Lotus Esprit, and they've got the Aston Martin DB5. And if you don't want your letter to get there, the MG.
Oh, God, look at that dismal. Oh. Ford Anglia police car.
Now that is a Ford Anglia. That is the scariest thing I've ever done in however many years I've been testing cars. 25 years?
80.
Yeah, 80 years. 80 years
Wow.
of doing an emergency stop once in one of those. My dad lost his kneecaps in one of those. I don't mean lost them like, oh, where are they? They're under
I was going to say, they'll be under the seat.
No, he crashed it, and then they had to take his kneecaps out after crashing a Ford Anglia. And now they put it on a stamp.
Yeah, and that's more dreadful Heritage Britain nonsense, isn't it?
Oh, God, no, it gets worse. Look at that one.
That is the Archers as a postage stamp. Why don't we put something modern on it? You could put the
Ew.
McLaren on it, you could put the Bentley Mulsanne on it, that would
Yeah.
be fantastic on a stamp. I mean, the French wouldn't do a stamp that had an old bloke on a bicycle and a stripy t-shirt with some onions for sale.
The Germans wouldn't do a stamp with a half-track just outside Warsaw.
No, exactly.
No, Jeremy, they definitely, no, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't, would they? No, anyway, so let's move on. Now, Mazda and Alfa Romeo have announced they're going to do a joint project to make a small sports car. Mazda will call theirs the MX-5. Alfa will call theirs the Spider.
Makes sense.
Trouble is, Alfa Romeo once did this in the past. They teamed up with Nissan. You remember this?
Yes.
They teamed up with Nissan, and we thought, what a great plan. Alfa does the styling and the engine, and then Nissan builds it. But they did it the other way around. You biggest decision in history.
Really?
This is what we got, ladies and gentlemen. The Arna. Styled by Nissan, built by Alfa Romeo.
Oh, wow.
Peter Crouch and Abby Clancy are saying, right, Abby, you take the penalty, and then Peter, you model bikini. That's idiotic.
They couldn't be more wrong. So, for this MX-5 stroke Spider,
Yeah.
job one, make sure Mazda build it. That's
Yes.
the
Mazda do the build. Alfa do the styling, engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfa do the engine, the styling, but welding, soldering, doing up the bolts.
Yes.
That's Mazda's job.
Yes.
I really do want to see this Alpha Mass. That's something
I
they
think
should
an
be working on.
MX-5 Spider joint bench, that could be brilliant.
Now, I want to move it on to something really important, okay? A few months ago, there was a bit of a brouhaha about town centres in Britain dying, you know, all the shops closing down. And we suggested on this show, this is because you aren't really allowed to park anywhere in a town centre. So people go to out-of-town shopping centres where you can park. And we said they needed to relax the parking arrangements, okay? Well, we have a powerful ally.
Do it? Yeah. Barack Obama.
No, not Barack Obama. No.
Darth Vader.
Vader.
Eric Pickles.
Oh, brilliant. Who's Eric Pickles? No,
Eric Pickles, you don't know who he is?
well, it's not Darth Vader, is it?
Eric Pickles, I can actually draw him. Because he's got an incredibly small face, okay? Right, so he's got a small face, and he's got really quite a big head. So, he actually looks like that.
Now that's funny.
He does. Put a proper picture of him on the screen.
Oh, God, he looks like that.
Oh,
That's amazing. What a fabulous arrangement. Look at that.
I think you can draw him. He's really quite good. You can have your own personal Eric Pickles on your thumb.
Oh, look at that.
how do I do that?
That's a good face. Excellent face work.
Anyway, Eric has said, okay, and he is a government minister, he said that you should be allowed to stop on a single yellow or a double yellow line just for a few minutes while you pop into a shop to get a pint of milk.
Well, that sounds like perfectly good common sense.
Yes?
Just pop it into the shop out in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, hang on though, this is the BBC, let's not forget, so in the interests of balance and impartiality, I will think of why that isn't a good idea. It's a great idea.
So there we are, we've addressed all the problems, and we can say, Mr. Pickles, implement it straight away, or we shall park on your substantial face.
What do we say? You can get about 10 cars on there. If you look, he's got a mini roundabout on his chin.
I like the sound of Eric.
Oh, brilliant.
He talks good sense, and he's called Eric Pickles. I think we should have him on the show in the reasonably priced car. But here's the spin, here's the trick. We tell him the reasonably priced car is actually an aerial asset. Because I've got a wobbly face, and about like that. Imagine what his face would be like.
Go inside out in time.